Sorry. How do we spell square? S.Q.U.A.R.E. So you're living a square life when you see quality, you, you, R-A-R-E, really enjoying life. Square is when you see quality, you are really enjoying life. So what is it to seek quality in life? Well, in things, of course, to the best of our ability. We can't all afford the best things in the world, the material things, but quality in the long run is often more inexpensive than buying things that are of lesser quality. For example, cheaper clothing, for example, may last a year or two. Expensive clothing may last you 10, 15, 20 years. Who knows? But quality here, we're talking about one's inner character. So let's examine some things that would denote a quality life. A quality individual is one who is not afraid to confront, to have conversation, but is never violent. Ahimsa. A quality person avoids anger. The Tirukural talks about that wonderful South Indian scripture, that the face's smile is slain by anger. It's a state of mind. We can be firm, we can be disciplined without being angry. Angry leads to violence. A quality person disciplines their desire. Now, unless you are a totally renunciate yogi, living off the grid, or the last stage of the Buddha, yes, we want to eradicate many, many desires. But in life, desires are what make life worth living. It's how we discipline those desires that's important. The desire for food and drink and sexual desires as well. Desire for things. We all have these desires. We just need to control them and not be controlled by them. A quality person avoids drunkenness. This is a metaphor here for life itself. We want to drink of life, like desires, but avoid being drunk on anything. Drunk on alcohol, for example, or drugs. Drunk on power, money, sex, egoism. Avoid drunkenness. That's a quality life. Also, do not steal. There are many ways to steal. We can steal physical property. We can steal intellectual property. Look at today's phony yoga. It's totally stolen from the Hindu yoga dharma. And you Hindus are not standing up like Ganesha is trying to tell us. Stand up in the face of all of these distortions. And certainly don't capitulate and join into them. Those of you from India have to really ask yourself some serious questions. Why, in the past, right up to the present, have we or you allowed so many invasions, appropriations, thefts, distortions to this very day? The massive spurious phony yoga movement, for example. A quality person avoids evil company. There are bad individuals. There's a Hindu proverb, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Yes. A quality person strives not to lie. We've all done it. We know that. But we strive not to lie. A quality person strives not to lust. And again, this means lust for anything. Food, money, power, sex, egoism. Remember, in religious life, the three red flags are picture, personality, and price tag. You see that, you're probably entering into a dangerous cultic situation. Now, a quality person also seeks to the best of their ability, purify their body, mind, and speech. Speech is really important. Today, it's really gone downhill. People so casually use really foul words. It's so commonplace now. Everyone needs to stop and think. We've all done this, we know that, but we need to stop and think. What are we saying when we use these foul words, and just so casually? And when we throw out those F bombs, what are we doing? We're taking something that's supposed to be a sacred act and turning it into something gross, crass. And especially when women do it, what are you thinking of? Or are you? Also, we all need to ask ourselves, and perhaps others, when they're using these foul words, where are they coming from? Think about it. They're coming from the Muladhara and the Svadhisthana chakra. Those of you that know about the chakras, the first and second chakra, ask yourself when you use these words. Ask others. Can't you think a bit higher? That should stop us dead in our tracks. A quality person seeks contentment rather than being a malcontent. In other words, the spoiled child or spoiled adult child syndrome, when it's never enough. A quality person cultivates devotion. Devotion is the secret ingredient of life. We've talked about this many, many times. Without being devoted, you won't be successful in life. You need to be devoted to yourself, to others, to your family, to your spouse perhaps, your children, devoted to your profession, devoted to your hobbies, devoted to your dharma, devoted to your religion. Without this devotion, you won't be successful. To Hindus, this is bhakti yoga, puja, sanya, agnihotra. First word of the Rig Veda, Agni Mile, praise the fire. Get your inner fire going, the fires of devotion. But wisely, the Hindu rishis placed bhakti yoga as the second yoga. Why? Well, we could be devoted to the wrong thing, the wrong person, for decades. I've had many say that, I've been doing yoga for 20, 30 years. Well, you've been doing it wrong. You're devoted to something that's wrong. Stop, turn around, do the right thing. That's why karma yoga is always the first yoga, striving to do the right thing. And actually, in these signs of quality here, we're actually renumerating the modern ethical code of the yamas and the niyamas. Continuing on with, a quality person strives not to lie and not to lust. Again, excessive desire for anything. For the original code of the yamas and the niyamas by the Saiva Hindu Guru Patanjali was too intense for most people. It was designed for Hindu male renunciate yogis in training because in Patanjali's yamas and niyamas, he demands absolute celibacy and absolute purity, and it's a purity of renunciation, of essentially being alone, the yogic life, because he was training gurus. The Yoga Sutras are a wonderful manual, but we have to respect who Patanjali was. He was a Saiva Hindu guru, and who he was teaching. He was teaching young Hindu male renunciate yogis in training. Right? It would be a female guru that would teach females. Right? All this is open to anyone to learn, but they must respect the intensity here of the Yoga Sutras in this case. For that is life, isn't it? There are ethical codes of conduct for life in general. When you enter into a store, when you enter into a school system, when you enter into various professions, there are ethical codes of conduct. And some are more serious than others. Take the military, for example. It has a serious, strict ethical codes of conduct and vows that one takes. And even within the military, there are branches which are even more severe. Like if one goes into the Navy SEALs or the Green Berets, then their ethical code is much more severe. You could really liken that analogy to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. That's like the entering into the elite SEAL group or Army Rangers or Green Berets. Again, we can learn from it, but don't distort what the Guru was teaching and who he was teaching. So this year's lesson, inspiration is be square, see quality, and you are really enjoying life. Seek a strong foundation in everything that you do. And all the fellow Hindus out there, no matter who your Ishtadevata is, and remember, Hindus, we don't believe in God. That's a Christian term. You should be using your Sanskrit, Tamil, Hindu terms and concepts. And have your Ishtadevata. That's wonderful. But don't try to make your Ishtadevata the one for everybody. However, all Hindus know that Ganesha is always the foundation, whether you're a Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakta. And with the understanding of what Ganesha represents, you clearly see this. Know what to get rid of in your life. Know what to hold on to. Be grounded. Gravity, grave. First dynamic force. Look at Mahaganapati. He's animal, human, and divine. That's the Om, fully associated with the first primal sound. Om karam bindu samyuktam nityam dhyayanti yoginaha kamara moksharam chaiva om karaya namo namaha. Clearly why Ganesha is first. Earth, gravity, the Om, memory, never forgetting who you are. Tattvamasi, aham brahmasmi, aham atma. Asi, the essence of Hindu yoga, dharma, the gatekeeper. You can't go any further if we don't open the gate. And Ganesha opens the gate to the rest of Hindu dharma. And then there's a safe cushion, if you will, to come back to from our inner, perhaps deeper experiences or more mystical experiences, if you will. But remember, having a good foundation is deep in and of itself. Foundation is everything. Direction is everything. The wisdom of 4, pade, pade, step by step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ek, do, teen, cha. Hinduism is by far a religion that will make you a shining star. Karma, bhakti, raja, jnana. This is the way to nirvana. Chariye, kariye, yoga, jnanam. This is the same as we just told you. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. How many times do we have to tell the world all of yoga is sanatan dharma? This is Hinduism. Watch your karma kanda, upasana kanda, yana kanda, om. Om ha ganapatiye namaha. Vakunodaya mahakaya. Surya koti samaprabha. Nirvignam me guru deva sarvakareshu sarvada. Om. Mushika Vahanam Modaka Hasta, Chamara Karana Vinabita Sutra, Vamara Rupa Maheshvara Putra, Vigna Vinayaka Pada, Namaskar. We bow to Mahaganapati. Remove the obstacles in our life. May you all have a blessed Ganesha Chaturti. And let Ganesha unfold this wisdom that's already inside of you. Remember, we respect the gurus on the outside, starting with Bhumi Mata and Mata Pita, and then your Ishtadevatas. But never forget you have the Guru inside, the Antar Guru, Utbaba Lingam, Atma Lingam Bhajale, Paramatma Lingam Bhajale. Jai Mahaganapati. Stand up for the Hindu yoga dharma. Be proud to be a Hindu. Say to yourself, I've got a dot on my head, and it's really, really red. It's a bindu, because I'm a Hindu, and I'm proud to be a Hindu. What about you? And I do yoga because it is Hindu. Karma bhakti hatha is to. Rajagyan, it's all yoga. It's all Hindu. It's not bogus. So just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago, in Brihad Aranyaku Upanishad, the Rishi said, lead me from untruth to truth, from ignorance to a more enlightened state of being, to the reality of the immortality of the Atmana. Peace, peace, peace. O Masato Masat Gamaya, Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti. 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 But remember, this peace is a piece of strength and a piece of justice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Maha Ganapati, Jai Hindu Yoga Dharma. Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakam, Namo Namaha.